You are not alone. September 2016. Beloved one, we have spoken to you some time ago about the hologram that you are making. You have seen a hologram in some of your science fiction movies where ones were looking at the hologram of something happening in front of them. It would be very much alive, and yet they were observing it. And truly, what you are living in this reality is a hologram of your own making. You are always making and changing, perhaps fine-tuning your hologram, allowing other aspects to come in that you play with. And truly, the reality, lowercase r, that you play with is very malleable. In other words, very soft, and you can play with it like the Play-Doh that the small ones play with. They will make the various objects, and then if they do not like that, they mash it all together and start over. They make something new. You do that with your lowercase r reality. You remake it from time to time. If you do not like something that has happened in the past, where is that reality? It is in your mind, your memory, and you can go back and change a memory. You can. Everything that you create can be changed. If you have had an unhappy experience, at least one that you judged to be unhappy, you can go back and revisit it and ask for a new way to view it to see what the gift is in it, because every experience has a gift in it. Sometimes it does not feel much like a gift as you are coming through it, but as you go back and ask to see it differently, you will see that there has been a gifting in it. Your reality, lowercase r, is always shifting and changing, and you do this because you are a master at creating the lowercase r reality, moment by moment. You are creating right now what you are reading. If you want to take that one step further, each one who reads this is reading a slightly different message as their previous experience has allowed them to view what they are doing in this moment. You have previous experiences, background experiences, not only in what you term this lifetime, but what you call forth out of seemingly past lifetimes. So everyone will be reading this message in a slightly different way, but hopefully in a way that expands their understanding of their creative power. And as we have said many times, if you do not like the reality that you are living in, you can change it. There is no thing and nobody who is going to stop you from changing. Oftentimes you feel that the parents or the older ones of a generation have more authority over you, but in truth, the authority that they have is given by you in your belief, and you can change that. You have changed that, because as you have grown a bit more experienced, you have said to certain ones in your reality that, no, I see things differently than what you are telling me, and you have molded and shaped your reality moment by moment. So now we are going to be expanding the reality, lowercase r, that you have accepted so far, and we are going to push out some of the boundaries of it. We are going to say that you are not alone. You say, well, okay, I've heard that before. I know I'm not alone. I know that there are guides, teachers, masters, who walk with me. I know that I am being taken care of by unseen ones, angels, and this is true. But there are other ones within this sphere of your understanding who are in your reality now who are experiencing their own lifetimes in different ways, ones that you have said are off-planet. Are they for real? Yes, they are as real as your reality, lowercase r. They exist. They are having their experiences and they are observing you, watching to see how you answer some of the questions that may come up, watching to see the overall collective consciousness and the choices that are made. As you are bringing forth this lowercase r reality, you have decreed that there is now a shift that is happening. As you are doing that, you are going to be expanding your understanding of what it means to be the extension of the One Creator. You are creating this message as we go along. The ones who share the extension of creativity are as adventuresome and as timid as you are. They are also experimenting with who and what they want to bring forth, and they are observing you as you would observe some of the other living forms in your reality. You have as small ones probably watched the anthills, and you have watched how the ants are very busy. You have watched the beehives. You have watched the bees and how they are very busy. They are part of a collective hive. So you have observed in your own way the extension of life, creativity, in a seemingly different form than what you are expressing with right now. Well, the ones you have called the space brothers and sisters sometimes are checking in and observing how the collective consciousness here is working, how the community of ones are waking up to the illness that they are, how that expanded consciousness is affecting the choices that are made. Now, I bring this to your attention because I want you to know the expansiveness of the one creative energy going forth and how in truth you are not separate from any of it. You have ones who are coming to you now who are speaking of what seems to be a very unusual extension of yourself. And you have wondered, you have asked, I have heard you asking, is it true that we are not alone in the universe? It is true. You are not alone. For many of the brothers and sisters, that truth does not exist in their reality. They have what you have termed tunnel vision. They have enough to take care of in their lifetime as they see it, and do not want to be bothered with fantastic stories. But for some of you, you want to know, what is the illness of me? What more of me can there be? You have looked at your reality here and said, well, I have the friends who are of like mind and like heart, and that feels good when I am with them, but could there be something beyond even what I have experienced when I have been up in the airplane and have been above the clouds? You have experienced what many of your ancestors would have thought to be impossible. You go to your stations where the birds come in, the metal birds, and you get onto the most vast airplane. It rises above the clouds, and you see the shape of the earth below. Your ancestors would not have believed that. You, as the ancestor, would not have believed it. But now where you are, it is a miracle, and yet you take it for granted. You say, well, I'm going to get on the metal bird in Sacramento and I'm going to have a couple of hours up above the clouds, and then I will land in another geographical place, and I will get onto something that has the big wheels and I will go visit my friends. You take it almost for granted. It is a bit of an effort to make travel, to make trek, but I say to you, it is much faster and easier than the camel. And yet in my day and time, and yours as well, because you were there with me, the mode of transportation, riding on the camel, was much faster than walking, and we thought that was great. Now you look at what is happening and you say, what more can there be? You have the metal birds that have broken the sound barrier. They have gone so fast that they have been ahead of themselves. You listen to your scientists who record such things and you say, wow! That is amazing. How could that be? I will say to you, how could that not be, because you are creating. That is the bottom line of the message. You are creating, and now you are wanting to know, is there more? And I say to you, yes, there is much more. You are opening your minds and your hearts to take in more of the possibilities that there could be expanded intelligence in other places who are having the experience of expressing in perhaps different form than what you see to be human, and they are procreating by different means than what you find useful in this reality. They are living out their dreams the same as you are living out your dream. Some of them have come to the place of acknowledging that there must be intelligent life. Well, sometimes they question that part on other planets, other solar systems. As your scientists have been pointing out to you, there are many solar systems within the universe, many galaxies of star systems, many that are with the planets that rotate around the star, such as your Holy Mother Earth does around the Sun. In their reality, lowercase r, everything is streaming forth from the one reality, capital R, the expansiveness of the one idea come forth to create, to experience, to express, to adventure, to wonder. Lifetimes ago you sat out under the stars and wondered, what is out there? Is there anything else out there beyond my knowing? Now you are coming to the threshold of having the interchange with yourself, ones that you have called the extraterrestrials, because they are not walking, well, some of them are, on Holy Mother Earth. So you have wondered, well, those stories are interesting, but I don't think there's anything more than what I can see and feel and touch and have even the language not be a barrier. On Holy Mother Earth you have the different sounds, languages, that mean something different, and some of you have studied languages so that you can understand other sounds, to know what they mean. How is the discourse going to be with your brothers and sisters of space? It is going to be heart to heart, mind to mind, because that is going to be the next language, a knowing. You do that already, so when I refer to that, you understand that there are times when you know what the other person is thinking, and they have not expressed it in the sounds, in words, but you know what they are thinking. Sometimes you can tell it by the facial expression, and sometimes you say, okay, I'm not staying around for that, and you leave and come back later when they are in a better mood, or whatever. I jest, but it makes a point. You are going to have knowledge very soon now, where ones who have been asking for proof are going to have the interesting intersection of this reality with an expanded reality, not something to be feared, but something to be welcomed. Because truly, now, I say this so that you will have the balance of understanding. There are ones who are expressing in space in the universe who are still of the combative expression. But they are pretty much like the collective consciousness here that is caught up in itself, so they are not the ones that you are going to be meeting first. The ones that you will be meeting first are going to be of loving mind and heart, because they are the ones who have completed with the combativeness, the aggressiveness. They are the ones who have been asking to have the experience of interacting with other ones who are open and receptive to understanding the expression of the One, capital O, Source, capital S, wanting to know what you are thinking, what you are feeling, what questions you are working with. This is happening right now. You are being observed. You are being watched, not in a way that you have to be paranoid about and say, oh, my goodness, I can't do anything. I'm being watched, and I can't have a thought. They'll read my mind, and whatever. No. They are coming in love. They are coming in a place of expansive questioning, wanting to know, how do you see things? How is it on Holy Mother Earth? You have company. You are not alone in the universe. There are ones who would say, what we have here on earth is the highest, the epitome of what can be. And then you look at the collective consciousness that is forever warring and you say, oh, my, this is the highest that it could be? If you have any kind of rational mind and heart, you begin to say, well, I hope that there might be an evolution that would be more awake to the love of the one source. So you are being observed, but in a way that is not fearful or fearsome. Some of you have been taken aboard the spacecraft so that there could be the interchange of intelligence. But the ones who have come back with the fearful stories have had a propensity in their outlook to fear. So when they have been in an experience and then they come to relate the experience, they come from a fearful place, because everything is fearful to them. But you have many who have had experience and have returned, and know that they have been somewhere else, and they know that they have been taken care of in a good way. So I do not speak to you now in a way that is to generate fear. I speak to you in a way where you will begin to be open to knowing that there is much more to the extension of the one creative source than just your present part of reality. And you, as you will send out love, will get love back. If you live in fear, that is what you are going to experience. So the ones who have come back with fearful stories have had the propensity to look upon things with fear. I am saying this to you now because there is going to be more exchange of information. You are on the threshold of expansion. Some of you are watching the signs in the fields, and knowing that truly there is something going on there, and there is something that is beyond just this plane of reality, lowercase r, and yes, it is a language. It is a language that says, we are here too, and we come in peace. We come in love. It is a language that will in time be deciphered so that ones will know not only by the scientific methods that have been put forth, but also by the heart, by sitting in meditation, sitting in the place, as ones have done in times past, to receive the information in love. You are not alone. Yes, your guides, teachers, masters, the ones who look after you, they are with you, of course, because there is no separation. There is no separation, and you are not separate from your space brothers and sisters. You see, what I am trying to say to you is that you are vaster than you have ever thought yourself to be. You still see the ETs as separate from you. Even as I speak of them, there is a feeling of, they're having a separate experience. They're different than I am. Yes, they are, and no, they are not. They are an extension of you, because there is only one. One extension of the one Creator having many experiences. You dream that you are many, and yet it is a dream. It is a reality, lowercase r, that you play with. And in this reality here on Holy Mother Earth and the collective consciousness that you live and move and accept as reality, there is duality. There is on the one hand and opposite on the other hand. That is a generational belief that has been held for a very long time within this expression, but it is not the truth of your being. You are going to wake up from that dream. It is not a mistake. The dream is not a mistake to work within the concept of duality. It has been the Holy Child, the expression of the One Source to say, what can we create? What can we experience? What is unlike oneness? So then you bring out individuality and you say, well, I'm an individual. You're an individual. We're all different from each other, slightly. We all have different experiences. And there is within this reality the concept of duality, and that's one of the rules of the game. And if you want to play the game, you accept the rules of this game. If you don't want to play this game, you go and find another game. It sounds too simple, and yet it is true. Like minds gather together. Like hearts gather together. So you play for a while, and when you get tired of playing that reality, then you go back to source and you come out doing something else. And when I say come out, it is not a physical coming out. It is a thought, an expression. You are not alone. We are not alone. You are vast. Vaster than you can even imagine, and then you say, my space brothers are really advanced. They know how to do all the space travel and patterns in the crops, but you know, I have talents that they admire. You have your questions that they have questioned. You have your answers that you have found that they want to know. So there is going to be communication, there is already communication, to the place where you are going to know common union. You are going to know the expression of the One, capital O, into the many different forms and the different expressions of form and without form, in mind. You are much vaster than what you have been taught. You are held in the love of the One Source from which you think you have traveled, but yet you are still in that stream of the One Source, going forward. Be open and trust. So be it. Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus. Channeled through Judith Coates. www.oakbridge.org